Hey, this G Butterfly, and I'm coming to you live from the bed. We got to talk about Heavenly and the Big Ambush. If y'all have not seen Married to Medicine from this past Sunday, y'all have missed it. You know me, I took a few notes up until the ambush at Contessa's house. But we're going to get into it real quick. You know, I'm just going to give it to you and let you think about it on your own. Well, you know me. I had to take my little trusty notes. So this is what I remember. Anila and her husband at the beginning of the show were talking to the little daughter. I guess they were helping her go over her homework. And the daddy said that he was like in a national competition and made it to the nationals when he was a kid for the spelling bee. So that's all they had. So we're going to go through it really, really quick because everybody wants to know what happened at the ambush. Now, and also, yes, I am sitting in my bed with this baseball hat. That's because my hair was already wrapped up and I didn't feel like combing it back down to do this video, but at least it matched my pajamas. All right, now we're going to get on back to the topic at hand, which is, look who's sitting right there by me. Say hi. Hi. All right, now let's get to it. Simone and Quad met up, and Simone was saying that she was glad that Quad was on time. Now, I know we all got friends and family who can't get to places on time. I have some close family members that for whatever reason cannot get anywhere on time. Now, you know, production, they so shady. They started showing old clips of Quad always being late. But hey, everybody got room to improve. So maybe Quad gonna improve with her timeliness. Now, next thing came up. Quad said that Mason is controlling her. I thought that was so funny. Remember I told y'all last episode that Mason is the breakout star. Even though he's a 6-year-old little boy, Mason is the breakout star. Well, she said that Mason calls her and asks her who she's with, what she's doing, and what time she's coming home. She said, I feel like I'm being controlled by a 6-year-old. Well, yeah, it kind of happens that way. You have a little 6-year-old in your life and you have to be accountable to them. But I was thinking, I said, you know, Mason's dad died and he probably feels like he doesn't want to lose anyone else that he's close to. So Mason is probably feeling a little separation anxiety and doesn't want to lose anybody else that he genuinely loves, which is his Aunt Quad. She told Quad that Miles had his first girlfriend. I don't know why I thought it was Michael, but Miles has his first real girlfriend. They have been dating for a year and a half. Cecil came out on his Instagram and said that Miles and a young lady had already broke up. Young, they'll find somebody else. But did anybody notice? When they were in the restaurant eating with Cecil and Simone, when they were talking to Miles, did anybody pay close attention to the young lady Andrea's face? She looked like she just kept having this little scowl on her face in between, you know, like the camera will cut to her. And she had like a little look on her face. And for whatever reason, I say, hey, little girl, something with that look. And lo and behold, the next day, Cecil came out and said that they were already broke up. But that's okay. They're young. They'll find somebody else. Tessa came over to visit while Toya was pruning her flowers. She said, I want to make sure I read this right. She said that she's on a pretty much a self-care journey. Contessa was real shady when she said her whole life is a self-care because all she have is butlers. She travel, play tennis, go out to eat. Pretty much saying, Toya, you don't do nothing. That's really what Contessa was saying in a nice way. But she was really talking about you on the cool. Now, Toya says she wants Eugene to figure out what makes him happy. She told Contessa that he just has no clue about what makes him happy. Now, he married to you and you say you have no clue what makes the man happy. So you saying you don't make him happy, Toya? All right, we're going to keep on moving. Now, they started talking about Heavenly. They always talking about Heavenly. Toya and Contessa. I think Toya going to always talk about Heavenly because Heavenly always be on Toya ass. Because Contessa said that she feel like they need to give Heavenly an intervention. So Toya got on the phone, called Simone and asked her what did she think about the intervention. Simone said Heavenly is a bull and will run all over you. She said that Heavenly will come back with a fake apology. Now, Heavenly do come back with apologies. I think at the moment she's sincere with her apologies, and then they may say or do something else and she get right back on their ass. So I don't know if it's fake apologies. I think they're real apologies at that moment. Jackie spoke to one of her patients and I found this very interesting. The patient was 37 weeks pregnant and she had a condition called velamentous cord insertion. And it's when the umbilical cord is not positioned at the center of the placenta, and that can cause major complications. I had never heard of that before. So I thought that was interesting just for them to put that smaller bit of information out for everybody. Now, Anila. And her family talked to the kids about Miss Gomez leaving. She's been there for 5 years. You could tell her son was kind of upset. He was like, "Who's going to make my pinto beans?" I thought that was so cute. It actually almost made me want to cry because you could tell he's a little kid. And even though he's going to miss Miss Gomez, he knew that he was going to be missing something that she brought very special to him, which was her pinto beans. She told them that she wasn't coming back and and they could see the confusion in their face when Miss Gomez was telling the kids that she wasn't coming back. And they were like, "Oh." But fast forward, they go with Miss Gomez out to the car to help her take her bags out to the car. She gave them hugs and kisses, and the daughter was so upset. Once Miss Gomez pulled off in the car, the daughter just cried, and the daddy had to pick her up. You could look at Anila's face and tell that she was actually sad, that her children were sad that Miss Gomez had to leave. But not Toya, what's her name? Anila kept standing. She kept sitting and standing like she was trying to cover her stomach. I say, is she self-conscious because she gained a little weight, or is she actually pregnant? I guess that'll come out in the coming episodes. And Toya was talking to Eugene in the kitchen. Now, he was getting ready to go to work. Eugene told Toya that he was working until 10 p.m. and she said, "You don't look excited about that." I say, "Well, goddamn, the man is going to work obviously probably before 7 in the morning. He's telling you he's going to be working till 10. I don't think anybody would be excited about working all those hours, but you know Toya needs Eugene to work so she can keep doing what she do, playing tennis. So the kids were still asleep when he went down there to tell them about the covers being on the floor. So that led me to believe that it had to be before the kids even woke up for school, because Toya said she had to do something with the son with some schoolwork or something. So again, I'm assuming Eugene could be leaving the house about 6:30 in the morning. I'm just assuming. But it's early, and he has to work till 10 o'clock at night. Those are some long, long hours. And he was saying since the pandemic is over, he said he's not working in a director capacity. He's taking on more clinical shifts. Toya said, is that like, do you have to do that or you want to do that? And he said that he wanted to do it so he can keep his money straight. And Toya, you don't work, so he need to keep the money straight. She said, that's a want. And he said it is, but it's a legitimate one. I'm like, Toya, where's your brain? Can anybody out there in social media land tell me what is it that Toya be thinking about when she talked to Eugene about the money? The man is telling you he's taking on more shifts. He's doing it to keep the money up. And you're telling him that that's a want. But you're having this multi-million-dollar house built. Something not adding up. That's just how I see it. Now, I could be wrong. Somebody out there in social media land tell me, am I wrong? Is my understanding might be off here. Now, Toya asked him to sit down at the table, and he said, okay, I have a minute. She had the nerve to say, that's why I'm on a self-care journey, because all you ever have is a minute. Well, damn, Toya, the man is the only one working in the house. Do you want him to sit down and drink wine and go play tennis all day like you do? The man has to work to take care of his family, and you are part of his family. So why are you irritated that the man is working and you complaining he only has a minute? He's telling you that he's not in a director capacity. So that lets me know if he's no longer a director, his pay could have gone down. That's why he's taking on extra shifts. Eugene actually looked real tired in the face. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but Eugene looked tired in the face to me. She was being hella selfish with that. She told him that he needs Toya time. Toya, you ain't worked since you've been on this show, so all you have is Toya time. Is it me? Or I don't know. Do y'all see it like I see it? I don't have my glasses on. I got my contacts on today, so maybe I'm seeing it different. But Toya is saying that's why she needs Toya time. Girl. Eugene said that he is burnt out after, all of the COVID and all of the work he had to do, all of the hours. And I'm quite sure working at the hospital had to be hectic during the height of COVID from March 2020 until now. The COVID numbers are going back up. So I'm quite sure as an emergency room physician, he probably saw it all. They did some little flashbacks to when he was in a car and he was saying how scared he was. Even though he had to treat this woman and save her life, he was actually afraid that he was going to contract COVID. So I'm quite sure a lot of physicians were just terrified, just not knowing what each day was going to bring. So Eugene said that he's just burnt out and he needs to diversify his work portfolio. And Toya said work with a scowl on her face. I'm like, you know what, Toya? Ooh, you something else. Now, Cece and Simone are writing a relationship book. They feel like they've been married 25 years. They have something to offer, and they have advice that they can give. They met with Omarosa in a restaurant. They say they've been knowing Omarosa for many, many years, and she's a good friend of theirs. And Cecil made a little crack about they don't throw away their friends because of their political affiliations. And he was trying to, throw out the fact that she worked in the Trump cabinet while he was there. Now, Simone said that she couldn't commit to 2 hours. She could only commit to 2 hours a day to writing the book. And Cecil said he could commit to 4 hours a day writing a book. So kudos to them for writing a book. I hope it's a bestseller for them. Let's see how that goes. Now, this is where we get to the juice of the show. Toya and Simone are the first to make it over to Contessa's house for the intervention for Heavenly. Contessa tells Toya and Simone that everybody's going to have to leave their cell phone at the front door so that they can't call Heavenly and give her a heads up about what's going on. So that means they probably told Heavenly a later time than they told the other ladies. Everybody starts to arrive. No one knows about the intervention. Toya says she has 2 phones. So again, Contessa being kind of shady like she had been doing. She said, Toya, what you doing with 2 phones? Who are you talking to on that other phone? We'll see. If she's talking to somebody she's not supposed to be talking to, you know it's going to come out. Contessa said that she sent Scott and the kids out. Anila arrives and is apprehensive about leaving her phone in the little bucket. Quad arrives and she's asking why does she have to leave her phone in the bucket. Quad say, well, I can leave. Quad actually left, was going down the little sidewalk. And I can't remember. I think it was Simone who went and asked Quad to come on back. And Jackie said that she would leave because she's a real MD. She said, and the MRS doesn't understand what that means. I say, ooh, they just be cutting Toya up. Because she was talking about Toya. Because she was like, I'm a doctor. I need my phone. So when Contessa told the ladies that that they were having an intervention for Heavenly, Quad called them some low-down, dirty women. Jackie's face was like, oh, shit. It's about to go down. That's how Jackie's face was looking when they told her there was an intervention. Jackie said that was like letting a bull loose in the china shop because she knows Heavenly. And she knows that Heavenly, as soon as they come up with that BS, Heavenly was going to get on the defense. So that's why she was like, oh, Lord, this not going to be good. This not going to be good. Well, anyway, Anila said that the situation was awkward and she doesn't like where it's going. And her face looked like, ooh, this may not be good. So when Heavenly walked into the room, she looked at the look on Anila's face. I say, Lord, Anila gonna give it away. Well, Heavenly laughed while the footage was being played of her on the big screen in the theater room. And afterwards, she told Contessa, is this what you're doing now, Contessa? Is this what you're really doing? If you had 5 months, you could have called me and talked about any of this that you saw on YouTube. Now, if anybody has seen Heavenly's after show, she went more into detail about what they talked about at the theater while they were at Contessa's house during this intervention. That was real interesting. I might do a review on what she said after the show. She was kind of pissed because she genuinely felt like her and Contessa was friends, and Contessa could have easily called her and they could have had a one-on-one conversation to talk about what it was that was bothering her. Because again, she said that she and Contessa hadn't talked in months because Contessa cut her off cold turkey. Well, Contessa extended an invitation for her to come over to the house. Heavenly didn't know what she was coming for, but she was just glad to come and socialize with the ladies. So you can tell that once they started talking, you can see in her face that she was like, oh, hell no, this is an ambush. And she said, you know what, Contessa, come on, let's go out and talk. So her and Contessa went out the room to go and talk. And Heavenly said, if you needed to talk to me, you could have called me. We could have talked about all of this. Anila, Quad, Jackie were quiet, but you can hear Simone say, oh, now you want to speak to her in private. I say, Simone, shut up. So Contessa did what she always do, and she got with that crying. You know, Contessa always ready to let the tears fall, ready to start crying. For whatever reason, it seemed like Contessa can't really hold her emotions together when she get real angry. And again, I know a lot of us, when we get really, really, really mad, we start crying. But it seemed like the smallest things get the waterworks going with Contessa. So Heavenly was pissed and told Contessa, come on, let's go talk. They both stormed out the room. Now, while Contessa was screaming, Heavenly appeared genuinely concerned and wrapped her arms around her, I think as a friend to console her, because she can see that Contessa was really, really upset about what she was saying. Contessa just kept saying that Heavenly told everybody about her marriage. I say, what universe is Contessa living in? Contessa continually told people on the show about the state of her marriage, that it was not good. Heavenly said that she feels like Contessa got upset with her when she told her, look, quit talking about your husband. If you're going to stay with your husband, quit talking about him and make it work out. And Heavenly even said in this episode, if something is going on with your marriage and you don't want anybody to have anything to say about your marriage, don't say anything about your marriage. And I agree with that. That goes with any type of relationship. If you want people to start your business, don't give them any business to get into. Now, Simone helped create this debacle of a night that they had, and then had the nerve to say, somebody not gonna go out there, like to go out there and stop them because they were screaming so loud. Jackie say, no, let them work it out. Let them work it out. So while they were trying to work it out, Heavenly was getting upset. Contessa got mad. She stormed out of the room. Simone trying to hold on to her, pull her back into the room. And Simone was like, that was like me holding on to the Terminator. You know, because they all say that Contessa is so strong and so tall. Well, one group was Simone was trying to talk to Contessa. Anila was saying how that was the wrong place, the wrong time. They should not have ambushed Heavenly like that. Jackie also said that wasn't right. Quad was saying that there's no way they could have expected the desired results of her understanding and apologizing, because they were not trying to work with Heavenly. They were trying to get at Heavenly, and that's what they did. Well, Heavenly got her shit together and she grabbed her drink. I thought it was so funny because she left, but she left holding that drink. She ain't leave that drink there, so I thought that was kind of funny. But she left on out of there. She said, I'm gone. So I'm assuming next week we'll see, you know, what happened after this mess of an intervention they had at Contessa's house. But you know what? Contessa threw that wig down. She snatched it off her head and she threw the wig down as if she was hurting Heavenly because she bought it at Heavenly's beauty supply. I'm like, girl, pick that wig up, dust it off, and brush it. You're not hurting Heavenly. Heavenly got the money for the wig now. So now you got a dirty wig because you didn't threw it down on the floor. But anyway, that was the end of this episode. But I knew it was going to be a little juicy, and I knew they was going to hold it all to the end. But that's all right, because we're going to catch up on it next week. Again, this is G Butterfly, and I'm coming to you live from the bed talking about Married to Medicine. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.